6 trillion tenge will be invested in geological exploration activities. The Kazakh government has reviewed the concept of the state program of the geological exploration for the next 5 years. The way how Central Asian countries show their oriental hospitality to tourists is featured in the news program. 75 Kuis and Termes were performed. The 4-hour performance of Korkit ensemble with national musical instruments were added to the Guinness Records book. Two women and 2 children aged 8 and 12 from Kazakhstan are currently on board the Diamond Princess cruise ship. Kazakh Foreign Ministry reported that they are not infected with coronavirus and their condition should not create any panic. They were made to take several tests and were not infected. The Kazakhstan embassy in Japan is constantly in touch with the citizens and they provided them with basic necessities such as food and medicines. Meanwhile, another 88 passengers on board the cruise ship tested positive, including one from Kyrgyzstan. The confirmation was made by the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Kyrgyz citizen is in a stable condition. A woman from Russia on board the ship is also infected with the virus. 14 U.S. citizens that were evacuated from the Diamond Princess cruise ship have been infected with the COVID-19. A total of 300 U.S. citizens were evacuated from the ship and quarantined in the state of Nebraska. There are a total of 3,700 people on board. According to the latest data, the total number of passengers infected with the COVID-19 has amounted to 542. The number of confirmed cases with coronavirus worldwide has exceeded 73,000 people, while more than 1,800 have died and 12,000 have recovered. About 50 new rare earth minerals such as gold, lead and zinc may be discovered in Kazakhstan. The government has urged for the geological exploration activities to be conducted following the discussions about the concept of state program from 2021 to 2025. The draft of the state program outlines 7 main tasks. The main goal of the program is to develop the mineral resource base in the country for the next 5 years, increase the industry's competitiveness, and create conditions for the sustainability of the raw mineral resources. Moreover, advanced types of scientific geophysical research, such as remote sensing, will be used. The exploration activities are planned to be digitalized, and more investments are expected to be attracted into the industry. 6.3 trillion tenge is expected to be invested into the opening of at least 10 mineral deposits.
Еліміздің геологиялық зерттелу деңгейі 25%.
The level of geological exploration activity in the country will increase from 25% to 37%. The assumption of solid mineral resources will be clarified and studied, and nearly 50 promising fields will be identified. The degree of geological exploration of sedimentary basins will also be increased by up to 60%, and on less sediment basins up to 10%. The growth forecast of mineral resources will be determined.
Қазбалардың болжамды ресурстарының өсімі қамтамасыз етіледі.
Nearly 500 international observers will monitor election process to the lower house of parliament of Tajikistan on March 1st, the country's Central Electoral Commission reported. More than 38 observers from the Executive Committee of the Commonwealth of Independent States are accredited in the state.
Знакомимся о том, как проходили этапы избирательной кампании.
We are figuring out the stages of election campaign. These are nomination of candidates, their registration, work with electoral roll, as well as provision of polling stations with necessary methodical literature and equipment.
Литературой, необходимым оборудованием.
Observers have visited several dozens of polling stations. Their responsibility is to check the as well as voting booth. Experts opined that all the stations are established in accordance to the law, and there are no further comments. 1,500 voters are registered. We have created the necessary conditions to meet with the local population, independent candidates and candidates from political parties. Our station is fully prepared for the elections today. We also have voting booths for people with disabilities who can come to vote. 63 members will be elected to the lower house of parliament of Tajikistan on March 1st. 41 of them will be from single-member constituencies and 22 from the Republican electoral district. Uzbekistan believes that tourism industry starts from hotels. Therefore, the government plans to provide subsidies to hoteliers. The government is ready to reimburse 30% of the costs of hotel constructions. Financial support is provided to 3- and 4-star hotels. The only requirement for entrepreneurs who want to receive the state support is to build a hotel with at least 50 rooms, and the building has to be completed by 2022.
Мы ввели буквально, скажем так, уникальную норму – это субсидирование строительства.
We have introduced a unique rule of subsidizing construction of hotels. To date, if an entrepreneur builds 3- or 4-star hotel, a certain part of nearly 20 to 25% from amount of construction, depending on the star rating and number of rooms, is reimbursed to the investor from the state budget. 200 billion soms are allocated to the budget for these purposes in 2020.
Из государственного бюджета. На 2020 год для этих целей в бюджете заложено 200 миллиардов сумов.
Har bir nomerimizga bizani 40 milliondan subsidiya oldik. Jami 4 milliard 720.
We received a subsidy of 14 million soms for each room. The state allocated a total of 4.720 billion soms. These funds accounted for 30% of the total costs of the construction of hotel. Such support encourages entrepreneurs to build other hotels.
Ruhlantiradi. Bu bizani yangi yaxshi kayfiyat bag'ishlab, keyingi yana mehmonxona ochishimizga undaydi.
The number of tourists visiting Uzbekistan is steadily growing. For example, nearly 7 million people visited the country in 2019, and according to forecasts, the number will reach 8 million this year. The number of travelers who enjoys mountain tourism is increasing rapidly worldwide, said experts. The Khan Tengri Peak in Almaty region is known to be a favorite among tourists. There are over 100 visitors who visited the foot of the mountain in 2018, while the number doubled in 2019. The mountain was visited by professional and amateur climbers. 5 modern recreational areas were opened in the Jibek district in Almaty region in 5 years to meet the high demand of the visitors. Currently, there are plans to renovate the Akbulak Highland tourism base and install ski cable equipment, as well as open an ethno village.
Investorlarımız kelip köптеген жерлеріміздің бәрін көріп жатыр. Алдағы уақытта
Investors are interested in finding better locations for recreation areas. Now it has already been decided to build the ethno village at the foot of Khan Tengri. We plan to restore the road leading to the marble wall. We will build hiking and horseback hiking routes to Karakol and Akkol lakes.
стена бар Хан Тәңірінің жанында. Соған біз жаңағы жол жасап, сметасын қарастырып жатырмыз.
Skiing is about restoring health and a surge of adrenaline. I think our region was created for ski tourism. Students from Kyzylorda have developed a virtual game. The 3D game project makes each of its players feel like an archer who is able to compete with Robin Hood. The virtual game has been highly assessed by IT professionals. At the moment, only archery activity was introduced into the virtual world against the backdrop of medieval cities. The idea of archery on horse is planned to be included in the 3D game in the near future. The game developers believed that it will contribute to modern youth interest in Kazakh national games. There are plans to develop a number of such games. We want to make it possible for the games to be installed on computers and smartphones. There are 2 projects that are ready to be launched at the moment. Kazakh games such as Togis Kumalak, Kokpar and Asik Atu will be developed into 3D versions soon. Gulmira Walikhan teaches the skill of Kazakh patchworks. She conducts master classes on traditional needlework, which involves mixing colors as well as fabrics and ornaments choices. It takes about 10 days for the craftswoman to patch a traditional Kazakh quilt, Kura Korpe. Gulmira is currently sewing the quilt and said that it will be done very soon.
Наның түстері ашық, жылы түстері. Көп клиенттер заказ берген кезде олар сұрайды.
We choose the soft colors on purpose because recently people have started to order products with ornaments that have soft shapes and calming colors.
Үшкір болмасын дейді. Ою болса кішкене бұрыштары домалақ болып келсін дейді.
Gulmira conducts online trainings as well. More than 1,000 women from different cities in the country fell in love with her patchwork technique.
Вот в этот список попала Не поверила я своим глазам.
I could not believe my eyes when I saw that I am in the list of Gulmira's students. I went to her studio and studied there for 2 weeks. Previously, I just saw based on my assumptions and preference. Now, I know that it is necessary to calculate in order to get the size that is needed.
Чтобы получить желаемый размер, тоже нужны расчеты.
Потом я захотела еще продолжающий курс закончить, потому что
I wanted to finish the longer course of the masterclass because it was not enough for me. I want to learn more. I want to study more. I want to know all the secrets and techniques of sewing from Gulmira. She is a very good and talented teacher. There are many women who continue to study and sew, just like me.
как я девочек, которые также продолжают шьют.
The craftswoman's work became popular even among foreigners. Buyers from America, Russia, China, and Norway bought her ready-made blankets, pillows, quilts, and bags with national patterns. A Turkic male headwear, which is called Tubiteka, brings peoples together at the third festival of Eastern culture of the same name. The event took place in Moscow, where talented masters from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Dagestan gathered together in one place. Keepers of traditions showcased their skills and spoke about cultural specificities of their countries. Craftswomen, gunsmiths, blacksmiths, and jewelers also presented their items at the exhibition. Some of the visitors bought felt Kyrgyz toys, bright coats, which are called chapan, and ropes made of fabrics called adras. Other guests bought heavy hammered dishes, while the participants shared their experience during master classes. The topic of the exhibition is preservation of traditions. This criteria perfectly fits into collectors and museums, since they are exactly the keepers of traditions. Those masters who make items according to traditions of the regions where they came from meet the criteria of the exhibition as well.
Народное творчество – это больше всего как обереги.
Folk art is a great heritage where each ornament and sign is considered as an amulet. These items reflect all that human needs, which is close interaction with nature.
Тесная взаимосвязь с природой человека.
The film Mariam by Sharipa Urasbaeva is included in the official program of the largest Asian film festival. The event has taken place in Vesoul, France. The film is based on a true story. The main character is Mervet Sabusinova. She becomes a single mother after her husband leaves for work and disappears. The woman goes through a difficult time in order to provide for her 4 children.
Қалаға көшуге қазір шамам да жоқ. Күнкөріс қиындап барады.
Осы фильмнен кейін енді мен қуанышпен айта аламын.
After this movie, I can say with joy that the president of the country has given a great deal of support to the movie and Mervet. I think this is the main achievement of the film.
Мен ойлаймын, фильмнің ең басты жетістігі осы деп.
Undoubtedly, the audience will feel sorry for the people who went through difficulties in the movie. Films shot in Central Asia give special impressions. I think this is what audience need as well. 84 films have been selected for the international competition in Vesoul this year. Nearly 35,000 guests have attended the event. Kuis and Terme are being played non-stop and mainly without sheet music were performed by talented musicians in Nur Sultan. The musicians played kobus, dombra, sirnai, jetigen, kil kobus and other Kazakh folk instruments. The Korkit ensemble aims to enter into the Guinness Book of Records with their music. Among the compositions performed include the works of Korkit Kurmangazi, Abay Dauletkere, Kazangap, Nurkisat Lendiev and Yevgeny Brusilovsky. The performance is being held on the upcoming 750th anniversary of the Golden Horde in order to popularize the national art.